Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video. And today it's Saturday, so I'm back with another slasher review as part of the TheHORRORmans Slashback Slasher Challenge series. And I'm going to try and keep this review pretty quick and brief, because as you can probably tell from my voice, it's rather raspy, and I've been pretty under the weather for most of the week. So I definitely wanted to upload this review though, because I really like participating in this challenge series, but yeah, apologies for the sound of my voice right now. But anyway, this week's review, or this week's theme, Joe came up with the idea of Killer Kids, so a slasher film centering around a child or children that do some killing. So pretty awesome idea. There's not really enough Killer Kids slasher movies in my opinion, but for this week's review I'm going to be reviewing Children of the Corn 2. So Children of the Corn 2, it's set several years after the events of the original movie, and the authorities have discovered all the dead bodies, the adult victims of the Gatlin massacre. The children end up getting sent to a neighbouring town, Hemmingford, and they end up staying with the local residents there after the events of the first movie. So while they're there, they basically become a cult once again. Their new leader, Micah, ends up getting possessed by He Who Walks Behind the Rose, and the killings start once again on this, on the residents of Hemmingford. There's also a few other storylines within this movie. There's a father and son who arrives in town because the father is a reporter, and there's also a little bit of a Native American storyline, because there is a Indian character, Frank, who believes that the corn has been spoiled, and that is why the children are acting the way that they are. So yeah, there's the cult aspect of the kids, and then there's a few other storylines running throughout this movie as well. So you guys get the idea. It's pretty much the kids from Gatlin once again targeting the neighbouring town and killing off adults. So yeah, now we'll move on to my thoughts of Children of the Corn 2. I really like this one. Now, I would consider myself a fan for the most part of this franchise. Actually, it's kind of a guilty pleasure franchise, because I know a lot of the movies aren't that great, but I think this is a really good follow-up. It does a lot of things that I like to see a sequel do, which we'll get to throughout this review. But yeah, I've always been a big fan of this one. Really like this sequel a lot. So first we'll talk a little bit about the location. So this one is centered, it's not centered in Gatlin this time, it's centered in the neighbouring town Hemmingford, and it's kind of got a similar vibe and a look to Gatlin. It's a small rural town surrounded by corn. So I think that's a pretty good setting for a slasher movie. I also really like the characters in this one, and I like the fact that there's kind of multiple storylines happening throughout the movie. You have the reporting aspect, you kind of have the investigation aspect with the Native American character Frank, which I really like, and you also have a new bunch of kids in this one, the surviving children from the original Gatlin massacre. So obviously Isaac isn't in this one. There's a new leader in this, Micah, who ends up getting possessed by He Who Walks Behind the Rose when they're having a meeting in the cornfield. And I really like the new kids in this one. I think they are really good. Micah is no match on Isaac, but I think he is a really good leader. He's slightly older, and he is pretty creepy, and the rest of the Children of the Corn kids do a really good job as well, I think. So yeah, I really like the characters in this one. I like the multiple storylines running throughout the film. Everything just works really, really well. I also really like the fact that there's multiple Corn kids doing the killing in this one. That really didn't happen in the original. It was all mostly revolving around Isaac, and there wasn't a lot of kills in the first movie. However, like what I've said, this one does what any good sequel should do, and it definitely ramps up the kills. And I really like the variety of kills in this one. There's some really inventive ones, like the kill in the church scene where Micah is basically stabbing a wooden voodoo doll with a knife in the nose, and it affects one of the churchgoers, and he ends up bleeding to death, which I think that's a pretty good kill. There's another awesome kill where the Children of the Corn, they control a electric wheelchair, and the victim ends up dying from that. And there's some other really good kills in this one as well. So yeah, I like how there's multiple Corn kids doing the killings in this movie, and there's some pretty inventive and unique kills in this one as well, and there's good variety. So yeah, I really, really like the kills in this too. That's pretty much all I really have to say on Children of the Corn 2. I think it's a really, really good killer kid themed slasher movie, and I think it's a really, really solid follow-up to the original classic. So I'm sure most of you have seen this one, so if you have, let me know your thoughts of this in the comments section below. My voice is starting to go, so I'm going to wrap up the review right now. Once again, apologies for that, but I definitely wanted to get this review uploaded. But yeah, if you've seen this, let me know what you think of it, and if you haven't, I definitely recommend it, especially if you are a fan of the original movie. Anyway guys, that is it for this week's review. Until next Saturday, I'll be back with another review. Until then, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thank you for watching.